Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is part 2 of the video we posted last week. This is the material that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using this African print. Our lining is going to be velvet. Okay, so I'm going to quickly wrap this now with Ankara, the body, the flap, the base and the two side. I'm going to quickly wrap it now with African print. Okay guys, as you can see, I've wrapped everything now with Ankara print. Everything is all wrapped up. This is the flap, the body, the two sides and the base. Okay, now if you remember, we already took our measurement for the base. I had to take my chalk to take note of the marking so I can transfer it to the front. So I'm going to transfer this line now to the front. If it's difficult for you, all you have to do is from the front we take the measurement again. Okay, so I'm going to transfer this measurement now to the front. Okay, I've transferred the baseline now to the front. Now the next thing is to take this. Okay, we are supposed to place it here, but before we do that we need to insert our bag stand. Okay, I'm just going to put this aside. We are going to come back to this. For now, let's work on the flap. We are going to be fixing the handle now on the flap. Okay, to fix the handle, remember the handle is made of bead. From the picture you can see that the handle is made of bead. Okay, so now to insert the bead so it will stand, it will be firm on the bag, you are going to need this. They normally use it as for wire work. People that make people that are into bead making, you can get it from them. So this is what it is. I don't even know what it's called, but you can copper wire. I guess that was called copper wire, 0.71 mm. So that's what I'm using here. Okay, so you're going to be cutting like 2 of these depending on the size you want. This is my plier. This one is for the cutter and this for to twist it whichever way, I don't know what to call it, to twist it in a way that it can be secured in the bead. Okay, so I'm going to cut out 2 of these. I need 2. Okay, so this is 1. I'm going to cut out another one now. I will explain why I'm cutting 2. Okay, and this is the other one. I'll just cut it. So now for the bead, this is what I'm working with. You can see the hole of the bead is actually, I don't know if you can see it, the hole in the bead is wide enough for the 2 to pass through. Let me show you. Just like this, it's wide enough for the 2 to pass through. Can you see it? This is the first time I'm using this. I'm not even sure if it's going to work out, but there's no harm in trying. Let's just give it a shot. Okay, so the next thing, I'm going to insert the bead now into the copper wire. So I'm going to be inserting as many beads as possible until I'm satisfied with what I have. So I'll just continue inserting as many beads as possible. You can use any size of bead, provided it's open enough for the copper wire to pass through. Okay guys, so I have 21 beads here, you can see. So now back to the flap. You are supposed to insert this bead on the base. The next thing, I'm going to take my measurement where I want the bead to be. Remember, the width of our top bead is 5.5 and from here to here is 1.5. Sorry, the length is 5.5 and from here to here is 1.5. So now to fix bead, you need to take note of the midpoint. 5.5 divided by 2, I have 2.7. So I'm just going to mark the 2.7, which is here. That's where the 2.7 is. Let me use the pen. I'll also take note of the midpoint of 1.5. The midpoint of 1.5 is midpoint of 1.5 is 0.7, so I'm just going to mark 0.7 for the midpoint, which is here. Okay, now from here I'm going to come in by 1.5, which is where I want the bead to be. Let's see if it's going to be too much. Mark 1.5 here and 1.5 here. So it simply means you're going to be inserting the bead there. I think 1.5 is fine. So 1.5 here, 1.5 here from the midpoint. Okay, this is where we are going to be inserting the handle of the bag. So now the next thing we are going to do, we are going to take our punching board, our puncher, as well as our hammer. Now you remember we marked where we are going to be fixing the handle, but I'm going to be puncturing 2 holes, one here, depending on the size of the bead. Depending on the size of your bead, this bead is like half an inch. Okay, so using that half an inch, I'm going to mark another point. That's where I'm going to be puncturing 2 holes. Okay, so I hope you understand what I'm doing. So let's go. So can you see what I'm doing? You can see it's very easy to puncture the hole. I tried to do all this from the back because this is where I took note of the measurement and not the front. So now next thing you're going to do, you take this now and you insert it into the holes, just like this. Just watch me. There are 2 holes, right? So you insert it like this. Okay, do the same thing for the other side. Insert it like this, Can you see that? Then you pull from the inside just to make sure it's tight. Can you see that? Now from the inside you are going to tie it. Okay, so you are going to tie it. Make sure it's tight from here. So just put it together. You have to be careful so you don't cut the bag. Understood? When you are doing it, make sure it doesn't get to the body. Just tighten it from here like this. Okay, like this. Just keep twisting it until you get to this other side. You do the same thing. Make sure it's also tight from here. Okay, so just twist it. I'm twisting it, just connect it like this. You can use this plier if you want to, or you can use your hand because it's very free. So you do the same thing. Just keep winding it together like that. Can you see it? So at this point now you have to make it really very tight. Just wind it like this. And be careful when you are doing it. Just wind until you get your desired result. After doing that, what I normally do is this. I take my masking tape and I just tape this place like this. Okay, just take the tape. I do it like twice. Okay, so this is it. You can see how easy it is. There's no way it's going to pull out. Okay guys, so note that anything I've done in my previous bag video, I'm not going to be repeating how I did it in this video, like fixing of magnetic snap, fixing of rivet. Please check my previous video on how to do that. Okay, thank you. So as you can see, for the side, I've already fixed the rivet. So for the side, the next thing you're going to do is to fix the lining. You're going to fix the lining here and here as well. For the base, there's no need to fix any lining here. Okay, what you need to do is to just take your back stand. This is the back stand. For the back stand, to fix the back stand, the measurement I used is 1 by 1 inches from the end. I came in by 1 inch. Up and down, 1 inch here, 1 inch here. Okay, same thing for the other side. So once you've done that, you take your punching board and you punch your holes in all 4 points. Sorry guys, so while I was shooting, I don't know, my ring light holder, my phone holder or my ring light got broken, so I had to figure out another way to place my phone. So until I get a new one, I don't know, you know, ring light now is kind of expensive, so let's just see how it goes. But I just pray I'll be able to get a new one very soon. In the meantime, we have to manage so we can finish up this video. Okay, so I already fixed the rivet. What I did here, if you remember the measurement of the flap from the top base, the measurement of the flap is 4 inches. So what I did, I measured the 4 inches from here. As you can see, from here to here is 4 inches from this mark here. So I came up by half an inch. From half an inch, that was where I fixed my magnetic snap, which of course is at the midpoint of the bag. The other side, which is going to be for this part, that the flap here, it's going to be like this. You are going to be placing it like this. Okay, so for this part now, I already did the same thing. I came down by half an inch from the midpoint, of course, and inserted the other side. Please check out my other videos on how I did this. So back to the base. Like I said, you're going to punch out 4 holes, and the next thing, you're going to insert your bag stand. You're going to insert the bag stand on all 4 points. Okay, so now fix the bag stand. So the next thing, you're going to place it here. You can just apply gum to it. So once you've done that, you're going to place it on top of this place, that's the base. Can you see what I'm doing? Just place it on the base. You can see how balanced and equal it is. So once you've done that, on your sewing machine, you're going to sew straight down, just straight down. Don't sew the edges, just sew straight down like this. And the same thing here. So I'll go and do that on my sewing machine. Remember, we've not placed our lining yet. Okay guys, so we've sewn the base to the bag. You can see this is how it is. We've sewn the base to the bag now. Oh man, I'm so heartbroken because of this ring light. Anyway, it's all good. Okay, so the next thing, we are going to place our lining now. This is it. We are going to be attaching it to the lining of our bag. So you take your gum and you apply gum all the way around. Okay, so once you've done that, the next thing you're going to do, place it on the lining. Before you do that, you can fold one end of the lining, then you place it on the lining just like this. Okay, just fold one end, place it on top like this, and straighten the other side just like this. Make sure it's straight. On the other side, you fold the other end of the lining inside just like this. Okay, so once you've done that, you take your scissors. There's no need to fold this place inside. Okay, there's no need to do that. Just take your scissors and trim it down. I've also done the same thing for this side. Check out my last video on how to fix your magnetic snap, please. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is to take this flap now to the sewing machine, and I'm going to be sewing it straight down. But let me quickly explain what I did here. Now you remember from the top base, after the top base we took 0.7 measurement down where we are going to be attaching it to the bag. From that 0.7, you are going to take your ruler and connect these two edge. You are going to take your ruler and rule a straight line. Take your ruler and rule a straight line to connect it together. Then create a slant like this. I hope you can see what I'm showing you. So just create that slant, because by the time you want to attach it to your bag, this is the front, right, and this is the back. So by the time you want to attach it to the back, this is how you're going to be attaching it, like this. Okay, this is how you're going to be attaching it, and this is how you're going to be sewing it. You're going to be sewing it on top like this, like this, like this, like this. So now I've explained how you're going to be attaching it to the back side of the main bag, but before you attach it, you have to sew this place straight down first, down, and stop here before bringing it to the bag. Then you continue and sew it straight down like this. I hope you understand what I've done. Please, for special training, kindly send a DM to Craft with Tej on Instagram, okay, for special training. If you don't understand most of our YouTube videos and you want special training on all these things, so send a DM to Craft with Tej, okay. So I'm going to take it to my sewing machine now and sew all the way around. Come back, place it on my main body of the bag and do another sewing from here like this. I'm going to sew it down like this. That's to attach it to the back. So let's do that. Okay guys, so I'm done sewing. So I've attached the flap as well. As you can see, I've attached the flap as well. So I forgot to mention that you're going to be sewing here as well. So I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and stop stitch this place. So once I've done that, the next thing is to work on the side of the bag. I already placed my lining at the side of the bag, so I'm just going to stop stitch here as well. Stop stitch here as well. Okay, so I'm done sewing. I'm done sewing it. The next thing you're going to do on the side of the bag, you're going to take note of the midpoint. From this place, you're going to take note of the midpoint. Okay, do the same thing for the other side. Once you've done that, you fold it like this. Please take note of what I'm doing now. You fold it like this. You are going to sew from this midpoint. From this midpoint here, you are going to sew it straight down. You do the same thing at the other side. You sew it straight down to the midpoint. By the time you finish sewing it to the midpoint, you take these two pieces like this. Can you see what I'm doing? You are going to gum these two pieces together. You are going to sew it straight down. Okay, you are going to sew it straight down. That's from here like this. You are going to be sewing it straight down like this. So I'm going to do that and I'm going to show you. I'm going to do it on both sides. Okay, so now I've sewn the side of the bag. I've sewn both sides of the bag. The next thing you're going to do, you're going to place it like this. Okay, you're going to place it like this, and you're going to just trim up this excesses a little bit. You place it like this. This is how it was, right? So you place it like this. Okay, and you trim off the little excess. Just trim off the little excess. So once you've done that, you take your glue, you just place it here like this. Okay, on the other side as well, just place it like this. After that, you want to take note of the midpoint of the base. The measurement of our base again was 3 inches, so the midpoint will be 1.5, which means you are going to be placing this side from 1.5. The side of the bag, you are going to be placing it by 1.5. Okay, 1.5. What do I mean? This is how you are going to be placing it, from here like this. This is how it's going to be. We're going to be placing it from that 1.5 inches marked. Okay, now it doesn't end there. The next thing you're going to do, you're going to apply gum from the top. Yeah, not the flap, from here down. You apply little gum down, straight down on both sides. That's what you're going to do on both sides. Then you apply gum round as well, just at the edges, round at the edges, round. That's what you're going to do. So once you've applied gum from that midpoint, you place it like this. From that midpoint, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing, but from that midpoint you just place it to align with the midpoint of the side. Then you can get a clip to clip it down. You go all the way around. Go all the way around. Do the same thing for the other side. And go all the way around as well. So once you've done that, this is what the side is going to look like. So I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Once I've done that, I'll take it to my sewing machine and I'm going to sew all the way around, and by that our bag should be ready. So guys, here is the finished look of our bag. You can see we've sewn all the way around. You see why I suggest using double face leather. You see why I suggest using double face leather, because it's always very easy for you to sew the bag. If you had used something thicker, it will be very, very difficult for you to sew it. So this is the outcome of the bag. You can see how beautiful it is. So thank you so much for watching my video. Remember to like, comment, share and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video.